Hi everyone, this is E, the empty nester. It's time to prepare the beds for Ugo. William told me the way to say the word was, imagine standing on the street corner and you see a Yugo, a car from the past, and you go, ooh, Ugo, Yugo, ooh, Yugo. So it's like, ooh, Yugo is how you say it. Where Oca is O-C-A, is Oxalis tuberosa. It's kind of like a clover, but they both produce a tuber like a potato, and they're both grown in the same area, the Andes, like potatoes come from, and they require a short day growing environment. That's why they sit here and grow their leaves all summer long, and then when the autumn equinox comes, that's when they start setting their tubers. I've been hardening these plants off for a week or so now, leaving them outside exposed to the weather. This is the Oca, this is the Yugo, and this is the Yacans. And these two will go in this area that's primarily shaded, but the Ugo will come over here in more of a sunny area. The Yacon will go over here on the fence line to grow for the summer. But right now I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the beds. This is one of the raised pallet beds that I built, and remember, when you're working with pallets, make sure to get the HT, on the side down here, it'll have an HT, that means heat treated, and not an MB, which is methyl bromide. And I've got a video, and I'll put in the subject area of how I made these. And with the greenhouse, if you remember, my daughter found bags that'll fit over these. All I have to do is make the triangle for the roof. If you've noticed, you've never seen a blue greenhouse before. That's because blue would probably block the sunlight of all the other rays. It would be like the plants are growing in a blue environment, which would increase the leaves and stem growth, but the rest of the plant would suffer. It needs all the spectrums of light, one more than the other at different times when the sun changes. But I'm only going to use the blue at nighttime to cover it, and during the day white when it's cold. But today I'm going to prepare the soil like I did last year for the Oca, and basically what I did, I put in a layer of mulch, and then it's equal, that garden cart right there, so let's say that's about a cubic foot or 2 cubic feet. And let me show you how to calculate soil. You can search for online soil calculators, and this one here is at gardeners.com. And what I'm going to do is, the bed outside is about 36 inches by 36 inches, 9 inches deep, and then hit calculate. And it says 7 cubic feet of soil, 0.25 cubic yards of soil. So that makes it a lot easier to figure out how many bags of soil. It would be 7 bags that have 1 cubic feet a piece, and mine's 0.75, so about 7 bags. And by building up the bottom of it with the mulch and grass, I'm gonna just do a little, say 4 in a bag of humus, so 5, taking about the space I need. Okay, now I've got this bag full of grass clippings that I'm going to pour in here, and this may be a foot or 2. Let's see. I'm just going to use about half the bag. And lightly cover the soil with it. This is kind of like composting in the bed. And it's also kind of like the hugelkulture way, where you put wood into the ground and then you put yard waste over top of it, and then you put your soil. And now I'm going to take compost. You know, I'm lucky they finally have compost for less than $2 a bag at the local big box store. One thing about the crop, the Roma or Ugo and the Boca, if you give them a lot of nitrogen, all you'll get is a lot of leaves. You won't get any tubers, so you want to basically feed it potassium. So I've got some banana peels that I've saved and I'm going to put in here. And all the tubers kind of set high on the plant, so they'll all be pretty high in this bed. This looks really nice. Pretty rich, a little bit sandy. So it looks like instead of 7 bags, I'm going to use 4. Excuse my back for a second. Okay, here's the 4th bag. So it looks like it could hold 2 more bags. So this would be, say, 5 cubic feet that I have now. And I'm just going to get a bag of the humus with manure, and that will give it a little bit of manure, but not an overdose. Here's the bag of the humus and manure. I'm just going to mix this in with the soil. Oops, I brought up the greens. Not a good idea. Might have been better to do this, mix them together in a wheelbarrow first, or just mix it into the top layer. The only scary thing about buying stuff is you never know when there's glass in it. I've been cut a number of times from glass being in the topsoil bags. But hopefully I'll be able to start producing my own compost this year and not have to worry about buying anymore. These are banana peels that I've been saving, and I'll just use them and mark the bed sort of and bury them. That way worms will start coming up to feed on them and get the potassium going from the banana peels. When you feed the soil, you feed your food, because you're feeding the worms. And it's a cycle. You feed them, they feed you. Life goes on. bring you back out a little bit, and now we'll figure out where to put the plants. You need at least 12 inches for each plant. I'll have to check and see what the other tray, which one I have more of, so I can keep them in the right varieties. I think I have more of this one, but I'll just put one in for today and show you how to plant it. Figure, give it at least a hand away from the side and go over here, pull it out. Just like any other plant, just pull it out of the containers and look at the healthy roots. Try not to disturb it too much like I do potatoes. Bury it up into kind of a mound. That'll give it a little support. And that's it. Here they are, all planted. If you take a look, they look like 4-leaf, or actually 3-leaf clovers. You know, they are wood sorrel, and kind of like the idea of a clover that's in our yard, except for the clover in our yard doesn't produce a tuber that's edible, and it is Oxalis tuberosa. And this is one variety, and then this variety, if you look on it, it has purple. And I have to look up which one, but I think it's this one. I'm the only person in the world that has this tuber variety, and I'm really lucky that it'll grow in our climate. We've last year I had 13 varieties, and when it got 97 degrees one day, I lost 11 varieties, except for the ones that I had in a protected area, and that's where I got the tubers for these two. And then I've got some seed to grow another variety this year. Instead of a tuber, like a potato to start the seed, it's an actual botanical seed. And these flower, you know, late August, September, you know, close to the equinox, but I wasn't lucky enough to have the right environment to get them to flower, to breed, you know, another variety with. But hopefully, if I keep trying and experimenting and learning how to do this, you know, one day maybe I'll be able to breed a oca into being able to live in our climate in Missouri without all this protection. And you never know. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to be a breeder. I'm just saying I hope my input into this will help, you know, others be able to, you know, because I could send the tubers back once I get them established to William, and he can do something with them to help make cold hardy varieties, where he's the genius in breeding. You know, I don't have a chance of getting flowers sometimes, but we'll see. If you have any questions, place them in the bottom in the comments, and I really appreciate your time watching the video, and I hope you found this enjoyable. But for now, go have fun digging in the dirt. Happy gardening, friends.